My name is Mariah Hatkevich, and I completed a program development plan for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities called the Meaningful Experience Project, or the ME Project. My faculty mentor was Dr. Maloney, and my site mentor was Kaylee Sexton. I completed my capstone at Hannah and Friends in South Bend, Indiana. Hannah and Friends is a nonprofit organization that works to promote awareness and compassion for adults 18 and up with different abilities. They were recently acquired by Logan Center, whose mission and goals were very similar. There are 3 sections of Hannah and Friends: the residential, the barn, and the day programming. My capstone took place during the day program. Day program services occur from 9 to 3 Monday through Friday. Time spent at the day program typically consists of unstructured leisure activities such as computer play, puzzles, and coloring, with the occasional structured activity of a group craft. While these activities can be meaningful for some, they do not promote continued active engagement. Therefore, many individuals at the site experience an occupational void. While there are a lot of different areas occupational therapists can address with this population, based on discussion with my site mentor and the results of my needs assessment, which I'll discuss in a little bit, I chose to create a program to promote independent living skills through meaningful experiences, hence the name of my program. In order to help establish the goal for the ME project, I completed 3 separate needs assessments, one with the staff at Hannah and Friends, one for the parents and caregivers of the participants, and one of the participants themselves. All 3 needs assessments had similar questions asking about specific aspects of independent living skills like hygiene, cooking, exercise, and money management. It also asked about how participants fill their free time and their interests. There was also the opportunity for all the stakeholders to share their hopes and concerns for the participants and what they wanted to see come from this programming. After reviewing all of the responses from the needs assessment, a few key themes emerged. Both the staff and the family and caregivers reported that the participants were very dependent for all ADLs and exhibited traits of learned helplessness. The staff reported that the participants are often asking for help with tasks before even trying to do it themselves. It also was reported that the participants had difficulty with initiating, sequencing, and problem solving through tasks. Most required excessive prompting to complete activities. When asked about specific life skills, it was reported by the parents and the participants themselves that they engaged in very little cooking, physical activity, money management, or meaningful leisure at home. Participants completed hygiene tasks daily, but only when prompted to do so by family and caregivers. Overall, the participants, the staff, and the parents and caregivers all stated they wanted more time-consuming and meaningful activities for the participants to engage in during the day. In addition to the results of the needs assessment, I looked at what the literature said about individuals with IDD, independent living skills, and engagement. Individuals with IDD have been found to have higher rates of poor nutrition and exercise habits. These individuals tend to live a sedentary lifestyle because they have limited access and education to physical activity opportunities. Considering these individuals' tendency towards poor nutrition, this population typically does not engage in cooking. Rather, individuals with IDD often order fast food, eat snacks more regularly, or have someone else cook for them. Additionally, individuals with IDD often have difficulty with different money management concepts, including counting money, understanding the worth of items, budgeting, and saving. As a result, many adults with IDD depend on family or caregivers to oversee all financial responsibilities, and therefore limiting their independence in this area. Adults with IDD often struggle to participate in meaningful community engagement because they lack opportunities and experience social difficulties. These struggles can lead to the individual feeling depressed and isolated and can decrease their self-esteem. The literature also shows that these individuals struggle with managing their own hygiene. While individuals with disabilities may be successful in some areas of hygiene, most individuals with disabilities struggle with at least one area. Some areas this population particularly struggles with are developing a routine with hygiene and fully completing hygiene tasks. Meaningful leisure, or occupational engagement, has been identified as an area individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities are lacking. Occupational engagement can be defined as a high level of involvement in meaningful activities. Individuals with IDD have fewer social connections, lower levels of community engagement, and lower employment rates when compared to their typically developing peers. A lack of meaningful activities can lead to these individuals to experience disconnectedness, limited self-expression, and a sense of meaninglessness, and overall creating an occupational alienation. Given all of the research and the results I found from the needs assessment, I was able to develop my program goal, which is to promote life skill development and independence for adults with different abilities. I developed 10 objectives to help reach the program goal. Rather than listing them all on the slide, I've provided a few bullets to summarize, and a copy of the full list of objectives can be found in your handouts. The results of my needs assessment really showed that the individuals at Hannah and Friends struggled to complete various life skills without assistance or prompting. Therefore, the objective of this program were written to help support these individuals in understanding the importance of life skills, improving their performance in said skills, and learning new and different strategies to initiate or problem solve through the tasks. The objectives also encourage participants to increase their generalization skills so that they can carry over what they learn in the program to different situations they may face. Finally, the objectives clearly state that goals should be developed collaboratively so that they can increase meaning and motivation for the participants throughout the program. In order to develop my program, I used the guiding principles of the Cognitive Orientation to Occupational Performance Model, or COOP for short. While I'm sure most, if not all of you, are familiar with the COOP model, I wanted to highlight a few of the intervention principles that really guided the development of my program. First and foremost, this model takes a very collaborative approach. This was important for my program because in order to motivate the clients to participate and engage in the interventions, they needed to have a say in what they actually did. This is why my program has the participants collaboratively develop goals and why their opinions were considered in the needs assessment. This model also suggests the use of homework to assist with carryover. This population has a high tendency to struggle with carryover and generalization, so with the implementation of simple weekly homework assignments throughout the program, the participants should be able to increase their generalization skills. This model of practice also uses guided discovery and the goal plan do check process, which end up being a huge component of my program. If you aren't familiar with the goal plan do check process, it's a problem solving and sequencing technique used within the COOP model. The details of each step are outlined on the slide, but essentially the participant identifies the goal of the task, creates a plan, completes the plan, and then evaluates and assesses the results of the implemented plan. This problem-solving technique is used multiple times during each session of the program and throughout the participants' homework assignments. It's my hope that with repeated implementation of this strategy, the participants will be able to improve their initiation and sequencing of tasks in various settings and environments. The curriculum of my program consists of 6 modules, each module covering one of the identified independent living skills. In addition to the 6 modules, there will be a final project fundraiser at the end of the program, where the participants will be able to demonstrate the skills they learned while also raising money for the program. Programming will happen daily at the site. Each session will last 2 hours with about 30 minutes in education and instruction in the beginning, an hour of hands-on experience pertaining to the session topic, and then a 30-minute discussion at the end. I knew when developing my program I wanted to reach as many participants as possible, but also keep group instruction small so that each participant could get individualized attention and adaptations or modifications as needed. In order to do this, I decided to use a module rotation schedule. There will be a different module running each day of the week, but the participants will only attend one module at a time. Each participant will choose one day of the week to attend for the entire program duration. After 4 weeks of one module, the module schedule will rotate, but the participants will still attend on the same day. For example, a participant may choose to attend on a Wednesday. Using the module rotation schedule on the slide, this means the participant will start with the money management module. After they complete that module, they will continue attending on Wednesdays, but will begin the exercise module. Because there are 6 modules and only 5 days of the week, there will always be one module out of rotation. The 6 modules of my program are cooking, exercise, money management, hygiene, social skills, and meaningful leisure. Each module consists of 4 different sessions covering specific topics. The topics are listed on the slide for you to review. Each session has detailed instructions for implementation, a supplies list, and corresponding handouts. All of the modules and handouts I created are provided as a PDF attachment for you to view. As you can see clearly on the handout, the session instructions are each aligned with the goal plan do check aspect of the COOP model. This method is to help the instructor guide the session through the model, but to also continually help the participants learn the problem-solving process to continue use of it outside of the program. There is also a section for modifying the tasks to be harder or easier, which will help the instructor grade the tasks to the participants' abilities. While I wasn't able to be at Hannah and Friends in person very long, I did have the opportunity to test some of my module ideas with the participants at the day program. One thing I was able to do was implement weekly cooking classes. During the cooking class, I would first talk to the participants about what we were going to make, the steps to complete the recipe, and any safety precautions that were relevant to that recipe. Once we did this, as a group, we established a plan to follow the recipes. We broke off into supervised groups to complete the different steps of the recipe, and when the cooking was complete, we came together as a group to eat and discuss how the plan went, how things could have gone better, or things that went really well. I also had the opportunity to practice different aspects of my Meaningful Leisure module. As you can see in the pictures, I got to implement aspects of the gardening, crafting, and games module. I specifically sought out activities that the participants hadn't done yet in order to try and introduce them to new hobbies. One activity in particular that I did with the participants was make friendship bracelets. They had the opportunity of incorporating as many colors and beads as they wanted, and they learned how to tie different knots and make different styled bracelets. The bracelets were very time consuming and took multiple days to complete, but some of the participants really enjoyed making them and asked to make another when theirs was finished. The participants also really enjoyed the gardening activity. During this session, the participants chose a type of seed to plant, filled the holder with soil, and planted the seed. They also learned about the importance of water and sunlight for the plant to grow. Over the next few weeks, the participants were responsible for watering their plants, and they were able to see how they grew. Jumping back to my program, I mentioned that after the participants completed all 6 modules, they would complete the final project fundraiser. This fundraiser consisted of 3 sessions. Session 1 and 2 were preparation, and the 3rd session was the actual event. During the fundraising event, the participants will be split into 3 groups. The groups will rotate between jobs during the sales so that they have the opportunity to use all the skills they learned. One group is in charge of the money. They will calculate sales totals, count the money, and produce change to the customers. Another group is in charge of bagging items. This group's main focus is communicating with the customers. They should be able to ask the customer if they want a bag, then wrap and bag the items, all while using appropriate social skills. The final group will have the opportunity to eat lunch and shop, which will allow them the opportunity to practice money handling and social skills again. For more details on the final project fundraiser and the schedule of events, you can look at the end of the program curriculum handout. To staff the program, I decided there will be an occupational therapist and a session instructor. The occupational therapist is responsible for developing and modifying all program curriculum and materials and completing intake and discharge assessments and evaluations. The session instructor is responsible for leading the weekly program sessions and completing progress notes when the OT is not present. The program instructor will be under the tutelage of the OT in regards to the implementation of the materials, documentation, and the use of the co-op model, or specifically the goal plan do check process. Both the OT and the session instructor are required to have 2 years of experience working with the IDD population in order to get hired for this position. In order to assess if the program is effective, a variety of program evaluation assessments, both formative and summative, will be completed. Formative evaluations will be completed multiple times throughout the program to track participant progression. This includes the 10 to 15 question quiz on each specific topic at the end of each module, the attendance sheet, the daily activity logs used to track homework completion, and the daily progress notes measuring goal progress and the goal plan do check use each session. Summative evaluations will also be completed before or after the program to track overall program success. This includes the Canadian Occupational Performance Measure, or the COPM, the 100-question pre-test post-test, the final project fundraiser, and the program survey. The pre-test and post-test consist of the same life skill related questions and will be used to show participant growth from start to finish of the program. The missed questions will also be compared to other participants to determine if specific modules or sessions need to be modified with better instruction. As I mentioned previously, the final project fundraiser allows the participants to practice the hands-on life skills they learned during the program. The OT will have an executive sheet to document completion of these areas during the final sale. The program survey consists of 20 questions and asks the opinions of the participants and their parents and caregivers on the participant growth and life skill performance and their overall satisfaction with the programming. Results of all of these assessments will determine if the program needs any modifications or changes to improve outcomes. Gosh, I can't believe it's already my turn to make one of these pages. I want to thank Dr. Maloney for all her help and support through the capstone process. I want to thank Kaylee Sexton, my site mentor, and all the staff at Hannah and Friends for being so welcoming to me and open to my ideas and changes. I want to thank all the participants and my new friends at Hannah and Friends as well. I miss all of their daily hugs and I can't wait until I can go back and visit them again. I want to thank my family for supporting me through all the ups and downs of school, my boyfriend Josh for always being a listening ear when I was stressed or needed to vent, and my friend Chloe for being the best roommate and proxy OTD student a girl could ask for. To the class of 2020, I can't believe it's already been 3 years. I cherish every single one of your friendships, and it absolutely breaks my heart that we can't be together to celebrate our accomplishments. I genuinely would not have been able to make it through grad school without you. I love you all, and I can't wait until we can see you and celebrate soon. Here are my references. Thanks for watching. Penelope and I look forward to answering your questions in a little bit.